about to start recording.
Have they done the peanut?
But it'll record on Twitch, so we're good.
Right, that's upstairs in the butler.
Sweet.
Sure. That.
So, is it working now? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, it's recording. Everything's good.
Everything's good.
Sweet video out of it.
It's all good.
So are we online right now?
Weird.
We are on the
so
internet.
online.
We are internet ready.
Well, I wouldn't say ready, but we're on the internet.
We are on the internet.
We definitely exist on the internet right now.
We are waiting for one more person.
Is that your beer right there?
Yep, I think so.
You fetching beer right there.
Jeepers.
Oh, forgive an old lady.
The dedication.
Cell phone has been placed away.
I don't know who this is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure everything's good, and then
Giddy.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't break it.
Demo talking, can you hear me? Ah, is that too loud?
It's pretty dark on day.
That's what she said.
Is it dark on day?
It's pretty dark on day.
A little bit, yeah.
Is it?
How about now?
But our tripod.
No.
It's gonna take like 10
Maybe
seconds.
if we like put it up here. And
No,
check
it hasn't. It hasn't.
Check on
gone through
ops.
I think we're gonna have to like key them.
yet. No, that's not like live, so it's gonna take like a minute or something.
Now
for
they're gonna
him
hear
to
this
actually get
conversation.
live.
No,
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
whatever. That's
But
fine.
I'm
How
just
does
That's
it look
why
on?
we shouldn't
Check
have
on.
it.
How does it look on obs? Is it fine?
Go back
That's what you should be checking
okay.
for to see how
Yeah,
quality
it's-
is and everything.
yeah.
Because that's right away.
It's good. It's good now.
Not really.
No.
No, that doesn't. Yeah, it's good. No, it's
No,
still
I
not
think
good.
we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to key them. So we're gonna have to set it up.
There's
here.
another light over there in the bag.
So when we do that, we'll have that nice.
Or maybe
backlight
just
for 'em.
turn that one that's like pointing to nowhere in particular, like
This is
on
a
the
No,
demo.
that's a good fill light. That's just giving us a base fill. That's giving us nice,
We're
rich
still
up
getting
here,
our stuff together.
right?
Yeah, but
So
I mean, it wouldn't even matter if it was like just
you'd
more
be surprised.
directional.
You'd be surprised.
Would I?
Lighting is
Oh,
subtle,
he knows
subtle,
lighting.
subtle things make big differences.
Lighting is a subtle mistress.
It is an art, actually.
I wrote
It
a
is,
song
yeah.
called
It is a
Lighting
fucking
is
art.
Suspicious.
It's fantastic at it, by the
Well,
way.
that's not. I mean, she's a fucking pro, man. Like, we gotta be though. Like, it can change the dynamic of a composition.
Go to your room.
So in here, it's just so
Yes,
transcendent.
my room is here.
It's
Be easy to
that
do.
type of artistic power in a medium that
Oh,
requires that piece
Ooh,
component to work
so
alongside other.
spooky.
Oh no!
simultaneous-
Sorry, everyone that's watching this.
Synchronistically with
Instead of
Sorry.
Well,
Oh.
even, like, thinking of horror,
So you
man.
want to just
No.
direct
Okay,
I'll write it, Dave.
Sorry,
From right
no
back
one-
there.
Don't even
Write
worry
it
about
him.
Okay, so just
Don't
start,
even worry
just
about it.
start like
Yeah,
character
Dave,
introductions and stuff.
I think you
and-
should just
Okay.
kind of like
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
let everyone
How do we
know
tell?
what the
Don't
Curse of
worry
Strahd is.
It'll-
And you guys are not like even if you've
Yeah,
read the book, things probably won't line up completely because I'm referencing.
So I read the book for nothing.
I'm referencing some old material of mine for the old Ravenloft campaigns. I also read through a couple of the old ones, which are, I don't know, it's actually fantastically disappointed, but they are really cool.
Okay.
No way.
Well, I think
So, I'm just gonna start. So the band of Xavier Cross, a group of people who they're mercenaries essentially who go from town to town dispelling evil and curses. And they've developed a little bit of a reputation around Daggerford. But they haven't gone to any major cities in many years. They roam the countryside looking for marks. The most recent mark that any of them heard is while their mastermind was searching for information in Daggerford, she heard a clue about vampire that had been roaming the countryside. And from there you continued north along the road, finding no vampires, only animals and critters and creatures, which you posed as enemies and evils and darkness. And you... Sorry, I'm distracted.
It's okay.
I might have to restart.
No, you're good.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, okay. No, I guess we're online, so it doesn't matter.
Is that?
Yeah.
Are we all good?
That's almost as good as it gets, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Stop playing with it.
It's 5 millimeters.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you're
that's good for
Perfect.
everybody.
Sorry for derailing your.
Okay.
Oh, it's all good.
Let's restart.
No.
No.
Well,
Pick up where we left off.
Alright, so you guys heard rumors of a vampire in Daggerford, moved on and found it to only be coyotes and wolves, and every town you went to was a joke. So you guys have actually run kind of low on resources in comparison to normal, and you are currently heading north to try and find the rumor of the vampire. And you are traveling down a dark road in a forest. You're surrounded by nothing but the subtle glow of the morning light coming through the trees, and you break through them to look down upon a small thorp. None of you were expecting to see a small settlement here. There's about a dozen houses. They're all spaced out around some farmland. But you can see that there's a large group of people, probably 30 or 40 at least, which is larger than this community could even hold, are gathered in the center of town, and a man is speaking on the podium, but you can't hear him from this distance. You're several miles away from the town. It looks as though they've called some kind of town meeting, and as Cross and the gang have realized, you usually call town meetings about threats. Which is your speciality. So you sit upon this hill, watching the townsfolk speak, and the morning sun begins to rise. First introduction we'll do.
My name is Euphigenia Surefrost. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintances. I'm an old woman now by the standards of the profession of my kin and ilk. I am from a small town called Derrywood, where my mother, she was a woman of pleasure. And in this life where I was brought up, I was given the unique and blessed opportunity to understand so many different people, so many different whims, wills, wants, desires, all of those things. I became the right hand of the master of the home, Lady Dara. I was responsible for midwifery, for cooking, for seamstressing, for planning. Well, Lady Dara wasn't always the leader of the home. Before that, we had a somewhat foolish master. He liked to call himself a procurer, but little did he know that his lifestyle led to a procurement of an early demise. However, I've been with these fine troop of people, and we are seeking out some of the mysteries and the oddities of the bizarre and the dark and supernatural. So, my name again is Euphigenia Surefrost, and I'm here to see that we all get through and survive anything that may come our way, dearies.
All right, Dr. Cross. I'm sorry.
And I guess I am Dr. Xavier Cross, the good doctor, traveling the lands as a cleric, a priest, and just an emissary of goodness. That's all I got.
All right, let's move on to the ranger.
My name is Illyria Rothschild. I was brought up by what you would call werewolf hunters. Me and my sister were the last of our kind, and she seems to be in danger right now. She was kidnapped by vampires, and my goal right now is to find a group of willing adventurers to train and help me destroy these vampires. But the group I'm with right now doesn't know that that's my plan, so we'll see what happens.
I'm sorry, my name's Dermid. Excuse you. The bard's here is about to talk. Where I come from, it's a small little hamlet where people don't like the extraordinary folk, like my brother and I. At a young age, we dabbled in some magic that may have got us in some trouble, but I think we probably have it under control now, especially underneath my very gracious auntie's watchful eye. And of course, Dr. Xavier Cross doesn't, keep us out of too much trouble. He's a good fellow, and this party have been very good to my brother and I. I'm secretly hoping that one day I may find a cure for my hideous, although very...
Extremely hideous.
Well, be nice on
Horrifying,
him.
really.
Well, he's
So
a bit
hideous.
terrifying, but the thing is, he has a heart that cannot stop. He is a wonderful individual, and I appreciate him every single day. I've never seen a actor act so professionally in any field at all. He is absolutely what I call top-tier professional. He is cream of the crop. Anyways, my name's Dermid Flint, and I am one half of the very well-known, very exceptional Ash Brothers.
Right. I am Braun. People call me the Red Beast. You gawkers, staring all the time. You've heard my brother's speech. I have no time for you. If you want to talk to my brother. I have no words to spill. I do, though, have blood to spill. And that is all you shall know.
Alright, so you've met the team. As you guys ride up to the ridge, you're all on Xavier Cross's wagon. It's drawn by a single large horse. It is dark brown, almost black. The thing is extremely ornery. Only Cross can seem to direct the carriage, because this thing just will not take commands from other people. The reins have been completely removed because it seems utterly pointless, as the thing seems to only respond to his word. The carriage itself is covered in... what did you throw all over your carriage? Why don't you explain your carriage?
Well, the carriage is kind of old, kind of falling apart, but basically has a bunch of paintings and like designs and all of the services that we offer, which is exorcisms, demon hunting.
Oh, sorry, I got the notes right here of what we actually do professionally. Very professional. Very professional.
Right. Professional.
Extremely professional.
Well, that's what we are. We are professionals. So we handle vampire stakings for sure. That's number one.
We do so many
We
things.
do that. We do spirit exorcising, which is very important. If your house is all weird, bunged up with ghosts, we are the guys.
have to exercise.
Exactly. This is the thing
Very
we have.
important.
Lycanthropy slang this is very professional business. We brought them in from some town across the way. Don't worry about it. It's pretty on point. And then we have demon banishment. This one doesn't come up too much because, well, you know, my brother looks like a big scary thing, but he's very harmless. Then we have ghoul eradication. It takes a lot of time. It's very expensive work. And when I say expensive, I mean very expensive. You're looking up the upward 300-400 gold pieces per ghoul. They get very messy when they're splattered against the wall. And then we do have undead dispatching, which is it's kind of an easy job. The undead are stupidly slow, and with a high professional like Xavier, that you really don't get many clerics that are on his level of actual skill, technique, prowess. He is the cream of the creme de the creme. He is unbelievable. The man
Very
just
true. Very
reeks
true.
of professionalism.
Very true.
Reeks, indeed, he does.
Mr. Frost, you shut your mouth.
Of professionalism, my friend. Don't ever dispute it.
Alright, well, the dirty old wagon, drawn by the horse with Xavier Cross sitting on top quite cockily and as illustrious as he possibly can be, rides up to the ridge, and you see this town. It's very, very opportune for you guys to have come across a group of people who apparently have some kind of problem. But, as in before when you've pulled your schemes,
This is highly
first
professional.
order of
Highly
business
professional, well,
is gathering information and instilling dissent amongst the town folks.
Dissent is such a cruel word.
No, it's more so I'm telling stories that are accurately describing the problems they're having.
Indeed he is. He's apprising. Apprising, I find, is such a better equivocation, don't you?
Auntie Jean, do you think it's time I go into town and maybe see what's going on with these people and perhaps procure the cure they're looking for?
I feel like that is one of the most wise ideas we've had all morning. Luckily we're full of them, and the morning is short.
So, Mr. Cross, you hear a bunch of scheming happening behind you in the carriage, and your mind starts to race, and you start thinking of the gold pieces and the fools in the town below. What are you going to tell the troops?
Are we running the same plan as usual then, friends? Dermid, you run in, create a diversion as Braun sneaks in the night.
Well, the thing is, I can go in there, talking around, ask for this. Just look like, again, always the doughy-eyed wanderer with flaming hair who seems to be a little bit off and he's lost and needs direction. Again, I can just go in there, figure it out, and then I'll send Brother here a prime example of what needs to happen. And then, I guess the costumes are on the bag, and I put the bag on like my bag on the carriage and go.
Yeah.
It's probably. I think if we're looking for vampires, and the room is here, we will use the vampire costume, if anything. All right.
Vampire costume, Braun?
I guess. I think we passed a village or a farmstead not too long ago. I could butcher some of the livestock.
Okay.
I could take your syringe and suck out the blood.
Absolutely.
As-
His too.
Thank you. And I don my costume and kind of like loaf off back the way we came.
Alright, sounds good. Braun turns around, starts heading down the road. You likely won't see him out of costume again. He's gone off to prepare, and what that means is stuck in his head because he can't get much out of Braun that he doesn't want taken out of it.
Into town I go, I guess, eh? Alright, well, I give Illyria a pat on the back. I give Auntie Jean a kiss on the cheek. And I look
What,
at...
no kiss for me?
Illyria. And then I'll shake Xavier's hand, smelling the obvious high content of liquor on his breath. Again, this is the usual.
Absolutely.
This is the norm. I give him a stern, like, yeah, we can do this still. It doesn't matter that you're hammered.
And he just... away with you.
Right. So I walk into town. What do I hear? What's the word?
Alright, so you start heading down the hill. You guys watch him go away. Are there any other preparations you want to do? Although there has been rumors of vampires in the area, as you know, Mr. Cross, as you've been doing this many years, oftentimes rumors can lead to other opportunities. So whether a vampire or not, there could be problems in this area that are,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
worth some gold.
Absolutely.
I say we just ensure that we know what we're looking for first and foremost. That's the appearance of a vampire.
Well, then that's why we have Braun, our vampire. It'll be fine, Mrs. Shorefrost.
No, I'm just ensuring that we all know we're on the same page.
Alright, so Dermid heads down. Where do you guys want to lead the carriage, or are you just going to stay on the ridge on the road?
I guess we're gonna stay there so
Yeah,
that
just-
yeah, we're not gonna obviously follow follow.
But we can
our
still keep an eye
guy.
out.
you
You
say-
probably wait a night to
Mhm.
let him kind of stir the pot a bit.
Would
Yeah.
you say if you're to look up at the ridge, the morning sun would like the dawn sun would be kind of peeking over, and they would be a silhouette on the ridge?
Well, actually, right now you guys are on the edge of the trees. You are kind of out of sight. You would be silhouetted if not for the trees. So as soon as it gets light, as the sun rises, you guys will be revealed if you don't hide yourselves.
I'll send a message back to Mrs. Surefire, and I'll go, just stay there. I'm going to tell her, like, listen, I think I'm going to manage to perhaps maybe pull off a little bit of a grand introduction for you guys. I think I can do it with the sun, with the sun rising. It's very possible that you will be the savior that this town is looking for. So
Well, that is indeed what it's always been, hasn't it? So, indeed, we'll enact the plan and do so, and we'll stay out of sight as we normally do, and on the rise of the sun in the morrow, we'll be there. All to the rescue.
Roll
Isn't
for
that how it normally goes?
Absolutely.
Mrs. Sherfrost, roll a perception check to see if you can see an opportune approach to the town where you could have the sun rising behind you, like a beacon.
Looks like a 21.
You look across and see Western Road leading into town. You'd have to double back a little ways, but if you went really fast, you might be able to make the rising sun as it crosses over the hill.
Well, shall we double back then? I think that would make the most dramatic entrance of it all, wouldn't you? No better way than to say hello. We're here to save the day.
I'm not one for the dramatization, but I think that would probably be the best plan.
But dramatization is the entirety of it, isn't it? If you think about it, the root of it all comes down to our ability to perform and deliver something that these people don't know they need yet, but are going to want resolved desperately. Isn't that the ruse? The rub? The rub-a-dub-dub?
So, you are the mastermind, and you are incredibly intelligent, and wise, I see. You have other assets at your disposal for such a job. And if you guys are caught, you could either be run out of town or killed. There is great danger in pulling these kind of heists. You've assembled this team and you guys work fairly well together, but if you don't take advantage of every resource you have, you know that there's a likely chance that these people either won't believe you, or there could be a different creature around, or there could be, goblins in the hills, or bandits, or it could be any number of things that you guys can't deal with. For all you know, that there's war. You've been on the road for a long time. Your information gathering has gone all right, but you're off the beaten track right now, so.
Well, perhaps one of the better parts of time is that we have someone at our disposal, perhaps 2 days before we arrive, to gain as much information about this land as you can, but somehow keep in communication. 2 nights might establish a bit of a more stronger rapport with the locals and yourself. Throw some money around, buy a few drinks, pinch a few buttons.
What do you guys think?
I'm already heading into town.
Yeah, Dermid's gone. The rest of you hear this plan from Sherfrost.
Yeah, I'm still putting on my costume at this point.
Oh yeah, you're gone as well. Illyria?
2 days seems like ample timing to me. Don't want to rush in too quickly. Just in case he hasn't laid the groundwork for everything that he needs to lay the groundwork for. So I think
he tends to be hit and miss with these kind of things.
Dermid will be fine. He's our best and brightest.
Well, if he's not dead, then we should be okay.
And if he is dead, we'll be okay as well.
Just only have to split it 4 ways instead of 3 ways instead of 5 ways.
It's probably preferable if he's dead.
Yeah.
Why are we talking such things right now? We have plans in our midst. We have riches perhaps to behold that can all come later.
So what are the three of you going to do, though?
What we're going to do is we're going to prepare ourselves for things we may need. What are some of the things that a town like this that you want to know? I have incredible investigation, history. I'll roll a history check to see what kind of animals inhabit the land.
Insight would be much more likely to know what's going around.
7.
So you have very little to no insight as to the natural dangers in this area. You know monsters are common on the Sword Coast, but you're not sure what could be here. For all you know, there's a band of ogres or orcs or whatever. So without sending out a scout to look around in the wilderness around town to look for any evidence of a creature, or without investigating in the town yourselves by the Dermid, looking into what the local affairs are, there's not really much you can do to identify it. You do have a ranger to go scour the area.
So what am I to do that then, dear? Would you mind just going scouting a bit? Checking out the lands and the forest, perhaps?
Well,
See if there's anything that may be inhabiting this nice little refuge we're going to be inhabiting. We're going to be just taking some solace and respite.
I guess 2 days is lots of time.
Or
for me to
repose,
go.
my dear, my mistake. propose?
2 days seems like enough time to really get a lay of the land and see exactly what's going on here as far as foliage and animals and what have you.
That would give us ample time, indeed, for you to conduct your affairs and talents.
Do a nature check to see what's going on around.
Well, if you're going to go scouting, you just kind of jump off the carriage, you run off. Mr. Cross, where are you going to take the carriage? With the mastermind with you, I'm assuming?
Sure,
The
just
two of
put
you
it
are
in-
left alone at this
Into the
point?
thick of the, into the trees.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Give it
pull.
some cover. Perhaps build ourselves a nice little shelter.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just pull up to like the nearest clearing in the forests and whatnot.
Alright, so you backtrack a little ways and
Yeah.
find a nice little clearing that you'd spotted earlier, and set up a little fire. And Mrs. Sherfrost starts cooking meals for all the people when they return, and for the two of you for breakfast. The rest of the day is spent for her mostly in her head. You guys can kind of do whatever you're going to do, but I'm going to go to Dermid first.
Okay.
So, Dermid, you walk down the hill, and after a little while, you wander into town, probably a half hour after you left the group. The town itself is surrounded in fields that have been cleared back from a forest that
Just to go ahead.
covers an area of about,
Does his job in
I would say, 70 or 80 square kilometers.
2 days.
But it's in the center of a
don't want to
very
spook the
dark,
locals. Get ourselves
mixed
run out of
forest
town
of
hard and
deciduous,
for the-
coniferous,
No, we
dark,
do
tall
not.
oaks and pines all over the place. As you head down into the valley, though, you know,
This is my pipe.
there's almost no sound at all, except for the man speaking. And as you get closer, you realize that the man himself is a priest. He stands at about 6.5 feet tall. His shoulders are extremely broad. He looks like a massive workhorse of a man, like he was raised on a farm. He must be in his mid to late 20s. He's got a keen set of green eyes that look across the crowd as if knowing something they don't, with a level of determination and integrity that often makes you unnerved, but you're also interested to inquire. As you get closer, you hear him speak. The wolf will be caught. We will kill it and carve out its heart. Do not worry, my friends, my family and my flock, for the gods above watch us. As he goes on, he continues to talk of a barn torn to shreds, people murdered in exterior farms, and on and on. Some of those details are, the Loishas were torn to shreds in their very house. How are we supposed to deal with a beast that can tear through doors? The townsfolk cry out, "We need torches and fire! Let's burn the forest and find it!"
Sure.
Another man yells out, "It's to the north! We saw its tracks! We know it's there! Let's hunt the woods and find its lair!" Opportunistically, it seems that this place is quite riled up about this problem. You see numerous daggers, knives, swords, even a pitchfork or two, as if some of these people were expecting a mob and they're looking kind of disappointed. Although most of the talkative people are the angry ones carrying weapons.
That would do
The
it.
priest just continues on and says, No, there's far too few of us. There are so many dangers beyond our village, and the gods cannot protect us in the dark places from the wolf. The people begin mumbling amongst themselves as if lost and looking for options. It seems as though they've been going over things all morning and they've exhausted everything they can think of.
I pull out my lute. Oh, sorry, mandolin is what I have.
Okay.
And I give the strong strum. People, your hero has arrived. I, Dermid Flint, am your savior. I'm
the
here.
mumbling stops.
I
And speech as well.
and I kind of
Every eye in town gazes upon you. All you feel is suspicion as they look to you. And as they see your hair, you see all of their eyes flutter up away from yours and back again. Pretty usual stuff for you, but yeah, they're shocked
it, yeah.
and they're odd. Give me a performance check.
Oh my goodness. This happens. Oh! Yeah! 7.
Alright, you're entirely flabbergasted at your arrival, and there is silence.
Oh, well, this is awkward. Usually I get more cheers when I show up. Well, if you don't know who I am, my name is Dermid Flint, and I am a very, very prestigious monster hunter from way far south. Far south. Now, you may not know me personally, but I do have a knack for hunting beasties and all other sorts of scary things. My profession, precisely, is actually the hunting of werewolves. Now, I heard that there's some mumbles of some wolf talk here. Now, I will be the judge of whether these tracks or not are werewolves. Now, if you pay me a small fee, a nominal fee, I may be able to look into this for you. Now, it may not even be a werewolf, for sure. You said wolf, and it could be more than that, and it could be less. These are just speculations put on by your friend here on stage. Now,
The priest yells back to you, "We know that it's a wolf! A werewolf!" A few other people in the crowd say, "Hear ye, hear ye!" And the priest starts walking down. "Who are you, stranger, to come to our town and tell us of this wolf of ours? It's taken lives and families. Who are you compared to our greatest swords?"
well,
You look around the crowd and you see a few short swords, maybe a few retired warriors, but really even at their best, they wouldn't stand a chance against even your moultrie crew with your limited resources.
Alright, this is your best. This is absolutely the best you have here. Now, mind you, I'm not one to point fingers and to say who is professional and who is not, but if you look at me and then you look at your best swordsman right there, you will know that there is some sort of professionalism in what I do. I wouldn't be just wandering around here by myself if I didn't know what I was doing now. And the thing is, I heard rumors of werewolf talk, and as that is my preferred creature to hunt, I would think that I would be coming towards some sort of hunt here. Now, if you're not interested in paying me, I can go on my way, ignore this town ever happened, and perhaps find some other creature I may slay in another town. It's more than likely the case. So, if you will, on second thought, I may as well just leave. Excuse me, I'll be going now.
Alright, roll 2d20.
2d20.
Or no, yeah, 2d20.
Oh boy. Oh, that's not good. Double fives. That's some good stuff right there.
Wow.
Nice.
Alright.
Why'd we send you, Dermid?
So you turn around and start walking away, and all you hear is silence.
I'll let him sit on that for a second.
There's a 50-50 based on your experience. Roll your insight.
Oh, I am not high on wisdom. Oh, well, that is not... Oh, that's an 11, because it's -1.
Alright, they're staring at you. You can definitely feel every eye in town looking at you. They haven't looked away, and you walk about 10 or 15 paces.
I'm going to keep walking, and then I'm going to slowly start playing on the mandolin a song. It's a song, it's a little tale about a couple of young women who... one woman was running in the dark, like just running around in a park one night with her boyfriend, and they were both assaulted by a creature that they thought was a bear. It was more intelligent, quicker, smarter, faster. And eventually it was run over by a carriage, and then her boyfriend died, unfortunately, and then she brought this curse onto her family. Her mother had to hide a corpse and stuff like that. It was very gross and grotesque. Eventually, one of the sisters was forced to kill the other. And to this day, we don't really know who did it. And I'll just kind of sing about that song as I slowly kind of walk away.
Okay. Roll a perform check.
Oh, please.
Oh my god,
Roll
roll
another dice! A 9!
I'll roll mine.
Alright.
My inspiration.
So, you're going to give me your inspiration, okay?
Oh
Which
my
was
god.
pre-assigned before the session.
6.
There you go.
Money in the bank!
15.
Alright, so you hear the crowd start yelling out, "We don't need him, we can do it ourselves!" And the priest says, Quiet, all of you! The god of the sun has sent us a patron. Look at his hair. He's exactly the man we need for the job.
And I will turn on heel and go, I am the light in the darkness.
Good people, come forth. Let us make a collection. Come, my friend, come. He calls to you.
Of course. Sorry, it's been a long day for me. The night was dark. I thought I saw something in the woods further up north. Further up north.
You hear mumbles amongst the crowd. North, yeah. Old Galen said it was up north.
Yeah, so I heard mumbles and I heard a creature. I tracked him down in the night, or at least attempt to, but he managed to get away from my guys. So I'm very tired this morning. It has been a long night.
All right, roll a bluff.
Oh my god! Please.
Oh, sick burn. What is that?
Sick burn, bro.
Jesus.
It's not a good.
Let's
It's a
send
10.
the most unlucky person ever.
It's a 10.
All right. Well, they say, wow, you look fantastic for coming out of the woods. A few people pat you on the back. Most of the commoners are quite excited about the prospect of a vampire or a werewolf hunter. Most of the people cheer and call to you as you see a large, fat, tall woman at about 6'2".
Nice.
Walk up next to the large priest, and you see her immediately. Like, you can tell that they are related, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But he wraps her arm around her in a way that makes you slightly less than comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He just says, this is my cousin, and she runs the local tavern. You should go and see what it's like, and relax, and we'll get you working in the morning.
Absolutely, I'm 100% down for that. I will need a drink because the creatures in the darkness in your woods are, to quite an extent, horrifying and tremendous. It is lucky that my hair is so bright that I can see in the woods.
Oh, yes, of course, my friend. You have the blessings of all the gods upon you. He says as he wraps his arm around you as well and starts moving you into the tavern.
I go, by chance, what is your god's name? I may follow him if it is not such a strange and queer land that I have thought. I am from the south, so it may be different, but I feel I have been sent by some sort of divine ability.
He just says, well, we worship the sun in this place, for all we have is our crops. And it's the only thing that'll protect us out here. We don't get the soldiers of Daggerford this far north.
No, they are... Well, some would say cowards not to help folk like you. But that's what I'm here for.
But that is what I'm for, to guide my flock and to pay adventurers to come and solve our little town's problems. Illyria, you're moving through the woods, kind of taking a look around. Make a what are you looking for in particular?
I'm just looking for any sort of tracks, maybe some foliage, mostly just like kind of something to eat, and then larger animals, see what's around.
Okay, roll a survival check.
Oh, so he's really useful.
16.
16? Okay. So you move around through the woods. You find tracks of dogs and all sorts of different regular woodland creatures. There's deer and elk and all sorts of things in the area. But as you're moving through, you do find quite a large wolf track. Do a nature check. Oh yeah,
My
so, you look down at the
Yeah,
track.
23, so.
Oh, 23? Okay, so you look down at the track, and it's a gigantic wolf. This definitely has to be an alpha. It's not as large as a dire wolf or anything that large.
Okay.
But this is definitely a large, dangerous wolf. And as you continue moving along, you see numerous other wolf tracks of smaller sizes. Looks like there's some kind of pack in here.
Okay. Can I tell if there's any sort of den anywhere close to me?
You don't find evidence of the den, but you can tell most of their activity is actually to the east of town.
Okay. Do I know how recent the tracks are?
The closest you find of the large wolf, and is probably, I would say, 2 or 3 days old. It's not very old.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been through the area recently.
I guess I'll keep following it to see if I can find some sort of like den, or if I can get closer to them without actually, obviously being careful. See if I can get closer to them to see if I can find some sort of den or something.
Okay, so you're gonna start heading eastward. How long are you gonna go into the day while you're
half
looking
day?
around?
We'll go for a couple hours.
Just a couple hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll another survival check, see if you can manage.
9.
9? Alright, so you are just frustrated
Oh,
because
sorry.
it looks like this is a very normal hunting ground for these wolves. They definitely have a den nearby town, but the problem is that they kind of control the area, and it looks like they move around these woods constantly.
Okay.
So you find several tracks, but I mean you keep losing trail after trail after trail, and can't actually find where they are denned.
Okay. Have I seen any like smaller game at all, like something I could just hunt?
Yeah, there's numerous small game around here. There's birds and elk, deer, those kind of things.
Maybe I'll try to get a deer.
Okay.
Oh no.
Alright, so as you move through the dark woods, the sun is coming up and you get a little more light. Dim light kind of sheds over the entire area. You continue and continue and continue, and you kind of are about to give up. And then all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, you see some movement. And not too far away from you are a pair of fowl.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of duck down, grab my longbow, and just kind of take aim at one of them.
Okay. Do your stealth check.
Yeah. Stealth, that's my specialty. Oh! Crit fail.
Stealth, that's my specialty. Done.
I won, so.
Oh no.
So based on the fact that I rolled an 18 and a 20.
Oh.
I get caught.
Anyway, so you start to approach them, and as you do so, you stop, and you hear a jingle. Almost sounds like loose metal clanging on metal. It's definitely on a cloth. And then maybe a voice. There seems to be someone moving around somewhere nearby. Roll another. Do you want to go and investigate it?
Yeah, I'm gonna investigate that sound.
So this is your stealth check.
Stealth check?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Alright, so 13.
And do a perception for me too.
We are blowing it.
Yeah, we really are. 6.
Yeah.
Sorry, 5.
Okay.
I'm glad there's not high expectations for
no.
that.
So you kind of approach the road, and you see there's a pair of men on small horses. One's a small horse, actually, one's a pony. And one appears to be a priest in brown robes with a satchel holding, like, flopping over the side of his obviously overly nourished mare.
Yeah.
And then next to him is a small boy who's got bags all over his pony.
Okay.
Or sorry, all over his mule, or yeah. So they're moving towards the town, and it looks almost as if they're representatives of some kind of cloister, religious.
Okay, so like a priest and an altar boy,
Yeah.
essentially.
Exactly.
Okay.
These guys are out in the middle of nowhere, though,
Yeah.
and from what you would gather is there shouldn't be any churches near enough that a priest should be wandering this area without a good reason.
Okay. Well, I should just go talk to him.
All right, so you
Yeah, I'll
step
go talk to
out.
him.
All right, you step out in front of them. As soon as you do, they pull their horses to a stop, and you see the priest just look at you. What are you doing, sneaking up on me like that?
Excuse me. I was just hunting, and your animals seem to have scared off my game, my hunt. Just wondering where you're coming from.
He says, we're from the village over yore. We've heard rumors of all sorts of trouble in this area.
Trouble.
Missing people and livestock, that kind of thing.
Can I do a deception check to see how truthful is being to you right now?
It would be your insight.
Or insight, yeah.
Savage.
Okay, so 10.
You're not really sure.
No.
Can't get a read off the guy.
Okay. Well, I'm with a band of travelers, and we are very good at hunting beasts. I myself have killed a few werewolves in my time. Maybe I can help you out?
Oh, well, we could possibly use a guide or a ranger to track the beast or the people or the creature or whatever it is that is troubling this area. But why should I trust a strange elven ranger who jumped from the trees before me?
I didn't exactly jump from the trees, I kind of walked from the tree brush. And why shouldn't you trust me? I'm not exactly a large beast that's killing people.
We're very far from civilization here, and I've noticed many people will do things that a civilized man would never consider.
Someone like yourself.
Or possibly someone like yourself. I try not to judge.
I know I try not to judge either, but it seems like you are judging me right now.
You are applying for a job, are you not?
I just want to help you out. Not exactly applying for anything. I feel like we could be mutual friends in this.
Roll a diplomacy check.
What's that?
Persuasion.
Or persuasion.
Oh my god!
Actually, that's going to be a bull. Oh no, yeah, it's persuasion for you.
Okay, yeah, 8.
8?
Yeah.
He just says.
Oh, sorry,
10.
12.
No, it's a 10. You had to roll a 6.
Oh, yeah, okay, right, my bad. Math is hard today.
He says, well, in that case, I shall give you a trial.
Troy, okay.
Go into the woods. Find me a creature. I don't care what it is. As long as it's dangerous. As long as it can kill a man. And you bring me that body here. And you'll have your job. And you'll have more gold than you can imagine, I'm sure. He looks judgmentally at you, covered in your, rangy clothes. You're used to people kind of looking down on you. You don't really care as much about image as functionality. But all he sees is some bumpkin, you can tell.
Sounds like a fair deal.
Alright, well, get going. He trots his horse together, and you see the roll an insight check actually again.
Ooh, 20. Well, not 20.
Nice.
Alright, you notice the boy's eyes are going in between the two of you extremely quickly. He seems to be incredibly nervous, and he's trying to hide it, but you can tell that there's some level of intimidation in this relationship. The kid's not comfortable around this priest. Alright. So you take off into the woods. He continues on. He seems to be heading towards town.
Okay. Alright, I will kind of go back into the forest, see if I can find something. Maybe spend a few hours there.
Okay, so you take off into the forest. Braun.
Braun.
You head back down the way for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Spot a barn at some distance. It's in a large clearing. Lots of trees. Just how you like it.
Braun will sneak up to the edge of the tree line, scope out the place, make sure that the owners are down at the village. In the meeting.
Roll perception check.
Oh god. We're doing terribly.
This side of the table is
6.
blowing it.
Oh, God.
It's okay. We'll pick up the
Yeah, at least you rolled
We'll kill it.
Alright, so you come up, you look around, you don't see too much. There are some cows. Looks like they're just dairy cows.
Okay.
3 of them in a large field, probably half a square kilometer. And there's fences all around it, a barn, and a small farmhouse. The barn's quite large, though, so you'd assume there has to be more livestock around. There's also a chicken coop on the far side of the property.
Okay.
But the barn's decently close to the woods, probably only 30 or 40 feet.
Okay.
The issue being is that several of the windows of the house are quite well in view.
Well, I am in costume. Vampiric instead of werewolf, but Braun doesn't know better.
Nope.
Braun doesn't know better. So I will follow the wood line to the barn, and then
Roll your disguise check.
Would that be performance?
Oh yeah, perform, yeah.
9.
Wait a second, that's
So the
deception.
4th edition.
Or performance, I guess, whichever you want to use. If you
yeah, so 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So your costume's not going to be passable, but in darkness maybe. But that's kind of how
Well,
you roll.
Yeah. I was just. Braun was not going to attack now, of course. He was going to wait for darkness, his greatest ally in deception. Since he is not a great performer, he is just a large creature.
All right. So
So,
you kind of just find a spot and just sit down in the woods and patiently just wait.
Though Braun's tactic is to keep watch, not to.
What's your passive perception?
Just 12. It's not so
12.
high.
Okay. You do see a man come out of the house. You can barely see him. He just crosses between the house and the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's maybe 19, 20 years old. But he appears to be the only person around. There's no lights. Most of the shutters are all closed.
How dark is it right now?
It's morning. I mean, I'll say you probably took a couple hours to get back to this farm. So, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so it's super early.
Mm-hmm.
Since there is movement and my costume isn't the best, and I know this, Braun knows this, I will actually maybe take a bit of a walk into the woods further to make sure I don't get spotted, because Braun is not the most stealthy either. He is a very large target at 6'6", at least.
Alright. So Braun positions himself in the woods, ready to strike.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Mastermind and Cross.
What a lovely meal that was, don't you agree?
it was delicious.
Indeed. Such a nice young fellow, Dr. Cross. Well, what do you think's going on? We haven't heard from our ranger friend in a while. Should we do some reconnaissance or preparation? What do you think of that sort of things?
He'll be back soon, I swear. Would you like a drink?
I would. It is quite early. Some coffee would be lovely.
Coffee?
Yes, do you have any coffee?
Would you like an ale?
The ale.
Ale's all that's left in the carriage after this dry stint you guys have had.
Ale's all we have left, is it? Oh, heavens me.
Ale is all we need left, Euphigenia.
Well, I'll have it anyways then.
Cross begrudgingly gives you one of his ales.
Alright, so begrudgingly, you hand over the ale, and you two begin drinking and get out your plotting kit. So you lay out a piece of paper and start working on how you're going to deal with this.
Yeah.
So generally how you run this is Braun goes around and terrorizes the town, while his brother Dermid goes inside and causes dissent and has trouble dealing with the local threat. Your ranger, of course, is your expert monster hunter.
Yeah.
The only legitimate one of you as far as you're concerned. Although Dermid would love to do it legitimately, you've convinced him almost to the point where he believes you that he's a real monster hunter. And he motivates you to go towards real threats, which you just find totally ridiculous.
That's...
There's no money in danger. So as you guys sit there and plan, you realize it's going to take a few days for these guys to start setting things up. The only thing the two of you can really do is if you have any additional ideas or input into any planning you want to do for it. For ahead of
Really
time.
second in
If you guys have
A little bit. A little bit.
Unless you want to, you can go off and do whatever you want. Though.
I might
Not
be-
particularly. I need to speak to my boy
Yeah.
Dermid mostly, but
Obviously,
that's about it.
Okay.
I need to know that they worship the sun, so I can.
Capitalize.
I'm just going to, shall we say, lie patiently and wait and read. But some of the planning I'll do is just around where we're staying. Obscure it a bit. Give us some concealment. Some protection from things who may sneak upon us. We're going to need fires.
All right, roll an investigation check, and I'll say you're kind of looking for an optimal campsite.
20.
So you find an amazing location. There's an old trail. It's almost invisible. Cross was just speaking as you two are riding your carriage looking for your clearing. You move off and see two little tiny tracks that have been overgrown. And as you follow through and just push through the bushes and some of the brush, within 15-20 feet, the whole thing opens up and you see a large, abandoned church. It appears to have collapsed and has fallen into rubble. But as you look at the rubble, you realize the stones are not actually that old. This place couldn't have been built longer than 50, 60 years ago. And yet it's completely abandoned and the trail to it overgrown. You ride your carriage up to it and realize that the entire structure obviously is caved into itself. And yeah, it's just a ruinous site. So you set up your camp in the area, but you have an all-right view of the road, but you think it would be pretty difficult for people to see you up here unless you had a fire. So during the day you won't have too much trouble, as the road is covered nearby, so they won't be able to see the smoke of your fire, though they may smell it. But yeah, you guys are surrounded in thick trees nearby the road. You have access. There's water for your horses and enough grass for it as well. All right, well, we're going to take a 15-minute break and then continue.
Hopefully
on
our rolls
time.
get better.
Or 5 to 10, we'll say.
Yeah, 5 to 10.
I need to charge
You
it
started
up.
late.
Charge your dice.
Okay. Woodstock.
Let's see how many
We have a very
ones they
special
roll
guest
on
in the
this.
live stream.
Okay.
My good friend, Duncan Alexander.
Yeah, Duncan.
Woo! Who currently is spending most of his time shit-talking Liam.
How bad I'm rolling?
and telling everybody to kill the bard.
Why?
It's a good
Don't worry,
suggestion.
he's the one who talks.
It's fair.
Boost the light.
It's been really
light
bad.
is pretty low.
You're fucking up my entire
life.
The lighting is pretty low.
Oh, should I stop the stream or
No,
should
no,
we
just
hang
keep
out?
it going.
Okay,
There's no
good.
reason
Just
to stop.
hanging out.
To change
Also,
now.
Nathan
But
Lopez
for next
Yeah.
time, what we
is
should
here.
do.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nathan.
We should. Happy birthday, Nathan. We should try to hang a light or something, maybe. Or I'm thinking
10 people.
maybe we position it down here and
No,
then
it's
just kind of
7.
aim up at his face.
With this one?
With
It
this
was
one
8
here.
until we just
No, I
started.
do
there
have
we go.
extra like pot lights in my car.
Do you?
Yeah.
Pot
Use another
lights.
But they, or do we? But this is
Dude,
the
that's
test.
best lights.
That's nice fill.
Yeah.
That's a decent key. It's not really focused, so it's not really good key. It's
Yeah.
like more fill. And then that's kind of soft, decent backlight for him.
Yeah.
Those two. So it's just we're missing just some
One extra.
like one extra key just to give him some light on his face. That's
Duncan, why I got shit done? Okay. Anyways, if you guys want to talk to Miss Euphigenia or perhaps Illyria,
Euphigenia.
if you have any questions, let us know, and then we can get into it. We haven't started the Strahd camp, like we haven't jumped into the nitty gritty of it yet.
Oh,
But,
that was chilly, wasn't it?
Oh my god, thank you.
But,
no problem. You must have been freezing, dear.
So yeah, okay, if you want. Also, if you guys are watching and you're new to us, we do have a YouTube channel as well. We put a bunch of skits and stuff like that up. But we're gonna have a lot more content coming through. We just filmed a interview with a lovely band named Man Cub that's Calgary based. We had that. We also shot a couple skits. A new one was just released 3 days ago. It's really stupid.
It's a work.
You're really stupid. It was genius.
You just don't get it.
No, it's stupid, beautiful, and spoopy.
I found leftover ravioli in my knapsack before I came here.
So
It was
that's-
fantastic.
Like a whole can of it.
Chef,
Oh,
boy,
kind
are you
of it.
hungry?
And then also we shot a fun little like a bro-y skit as well. If you want to follow us anywhere, we would appreciate it. At
You probably won't be able to see the pen.
no, you don't think so?
Wait.
They might.
Well, Katie can just link it in the chat.
Exactly, yeah. Katie, she can just link it in the chat, and I think that's
I'm not
probably
going to link it in the chat.
You're link it in the chat.
Link it in the chat.
But yeah, if you know, if you like us and you think some people could watch us as well, and you like what we're doing, we're gonna try and do this every week, every Tuesday. So if you're into it, come back and watch. Or even tonight we're gonna be playing. I guess playing a little bit longer, even probably around till 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock, whatever we feel is more better. More better.
More best. I didn't say anything.
You just stand it and you're getting
I
funny
didn't
fingers.
talk shit.
But yeah, hopefully we can actually jump into the actual Strahd campaign. We're just going to working out the kinks here, but I'm going to get some more lighting and probably try and light this bitch up.
Well, and we're just working on our characters, right? Like,
This is a little bit character development just to let you guys know who we are as a group. But we will I'm sure we'll be pretty in the thick of it by next week.
yeah, this is just us doing our backstories and getting used to our characters.
Getting you used to us, so
well, and us used to us.
Duncan hates
Like,
you.
these are very new
Yeah.
characters.
I'm still not used to myself, and I've been with myself for 30 years.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
anyways, I'm gonna go get another light. You guys entertain these fine folk.
Is it that dark?
No, I think it's just
Duncan just talking.
He's just
Yeah.
talking like a piece of shit.
Yeah, lighting's the problem, not your garbage rules.
idiot.
Duncan.
Oh, better,
Duncan.
Duncan.
I'm elated
Duncan,
that Duncan
not-
is here. It's making my life so good.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Besides Duncan, is everyone else satisfied? Is everyone okay? Does anyone have any concerns? This would be the time to bring it up.
If you have concerns, we don't care.
Wow.
Wow.
But if you
Whoa!
have concerns, tweet at John Cena.
What are people saying?
Oh, nothing. I was
People
looking
aren't
at
saying
I
anything.
think everything's boring right now.
People don't care.
Is it more?
Nobody cares.
I think it's just I don't know.
My
My
dad
buddy
doesn't
who's
care.
watching it says it's a bit boring, but it's a first stream, so it's gonna be boring.
Because we're
So
like,
your buddy can
just like
you.
in the story, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Well, the story's not supposed to be boring. Like, the story's supposed to be half of D&D.
Yeah.
So
No,
Yeah, but, I mean-
this isn't the story right now. This is just like
Someone
this is
said,
not-
Corey, you're mean. I don't know who it is. Maybe that's your friend.
Probably.
It's the introduction
Who
episode.
thinks
so
I
like,
mean?
It's
Yeah.
fair, I
his
guess.
name?
But yeah, we gotta.
I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
and it was the first.
Oh, that's my brother.
That's
Your brother.
I think
Brother's
so.
watching.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
now
And he thinks you're
Yeah.
mean.
And he thinks I mean.
Wow, your own brother thinks you're mean. What are you, Katie? I hope I was in the shot, just glaring at Katie.
Okay, Duncan says, you know what would make it fun? Kill someone. So, when Liam gets back.
we just kill
Yeah, let's kill Liam. Should we make a pact to kill Liam?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
No,
said
because
in
Braun
brackets.
would be so angry.
No, it's fine.
Braun.
We'll just pour water on his head. He's like a Charmander.
Oh yeah, true. He dies if his flame goes
Does he
out.
actually really die?
Huh? I think he does, yeah.
Oh shit, that's adorable.
Yeah, Charmander.
What does he do when it rains?
So the DM's just this little bit right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
His
fix
head.
it for next time. Figure out why the fuck it's so weird.
Jason, you got a couple light bulbs?
You're a light bulb. Sorry, that was me. Oh my god!
Are those like heater lamps for like lizards?
No.
Do you take the headlights off your car?
What? Yeah, that's what it is.
Those are heater lamps for lizards,
No, they're not. They're just clamp lights.
also known as heater lights for lizards.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Kill Liam. Which is Lopez.
Is everyone just saying
I
kill
mean,
Liam?
no, don't.
No. No.
Why would we kill Liam? We're gonna kill him.
Don't you fucking dare. What? Don't act so innocent. You're not.
Press 1 if you want us to kill Liam.
Yeah. I don't think we need more lighting, Liam.
No, you don't think so?
It's just gonna
not-
create
yeah,
glare.
We're fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just gonna oversaturate.
Yes.
You're gonna oversaturate the fucking visuals with
With
your
my
pallid
awesomeness.
skin.
Oh.
We still have Kool-Aid showers.
Liam, do you have a can opener? Wait. Open
Do
for
we?
me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're just gonna talk shit about
Or
it.
is it
Yeah,
just
and then
empty
get you
boxes?
to open my beer.
I think
It's fine.
you have a lighter or something?
No, absolutely.
No. Why would I? I don't smoke.
Yeah, just use the TV.
I've never smoked
Have a
a
lighter.
thing in my life.
Wait, can you see that back there?
a lying piece of shit.
Whoa.
Move.
What?
Dom, move in the past. You're totally blocking
What?
what I'm trying to look at.
I live in the past?
No, move in the
That's
past.
true. 2011.
Oh, no, it's fine.
No,
What?
stay there.
What? 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 Oh! Ah! Aha! Shit.
Classic.
We're fine. We're gonna get started really soon, guys. I think. I don't know.
Turn this into a drinking game, and everyone will watch. Haha. Well, we can take that idea, and actually, you as the fans can learn tropes that us as players do, and then drink to that.
We're drinking? We're not drinking.
Oh no, I think they want us to have a drinking game.
Your brother wants us to.
Oh, that sounds like our brother.
Is that Nolan?
No, that's Corey's brother.
I'm having
Whose
a
name
drinking
is
game.
Taylor.
Taylor.
Lautner.
Taylor Man.
Oh,
Roll some d6 at yahoo.com.
Oh, damn.
Email us if you
At inbox.net.
oh dear.
My website is d6 at expedia.com.
I really hope I stop blowing it. Really.
I hope you stop
Your,
doing it too.
yeah, your rolls
every
were not that good.
No, they were. Every single one was barely.
They're actually very bad.
Yeah,
They're
rolling.
extremely mediocre.
Less than mediocre.
Just ask Duncan.
Very bottom quarter of
At least I didn't crit fail.
existence.
That's true, I did crit fail.
Yeah.
On a
This,
stealth.
that
I'm a ranger
whole
who's
side of the
stealth.
table is kind
Yeah.
of awful.
Hey,
for
I
me.
rolled enough to get a 20 once.
I haven't even rolled once.
Yeah.
I might be awful too. Here, let's get this one
No.
out of the way.
No,
What's
because
20?
she's gonna be 20.
Oh, it's a 14. That's okay.
Nice. Okay,
That's
so you're
okay.
good. You're warmed
Yeah,
up.
I'm definitely ready to go.
I'm just gonna stop rolling this because every time I look at it and pick it up and put it back down as I'm rolling it,
Mhm.
it's like 17, 19, 15, and then I roll immediately after
And
a
it's
6,
Yeah. 4,
4.
3, 2, 8.
So Batman Thursday night or no?
It's
Batman?
It's got a
Batman
29%.
Yeah, it's not doing too well.
I know.
apparently.
It's gonna
It
be
looks
terrible. but-
Awful.
What?
Yeah.
Batman.
Batman versus Superman.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking terrible.
Dude, it has like a 25% on Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
still want to go
That's
see
gross.
Cloverfield.
10 Cloverfield Lanes.
Yeah. Oh.
It's super good.
Okay, it's at 40 now. 40%.
But how many people are?
So like it's not doing like good, but it's
How much
still
did Man of
better.
Steel? What? It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't even come out yet. It hasn't come out for like 3 days.
Yeah.
4 days. I'm gonna see it Thursday night after work at 10 o'clock.
How do you guys
Corey's
feel about
brother's
Superman
drinking game is
versus Batman?
every even number rolled, he drinks. And every odd number rolled, he drinks 2.
Hey, hey Corey, I rolled a 20. Chug. I just legit
I'm not-
rolled a 20.
That's awful.
Fucking
I did
shut.
that at the beginning of the game, and I've rolled nothing above 10.
Yeah, so good luck. Good luck there, Dominic.
Dominic Martins.
Dr. Xavier Martins.
I mean, so far I like our character interaction so far. It's been pretty nice. Except for my
Yeah.
roll blow nuts.
I was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
But I mean, that's our characters because we all
That's our
suck.
character.
I just want to get to the town like me
Yeah.
as a person.
I want to scare some fucking.
I almost killed
Right.
that. I almost killed that priest as soon as he was like, "I want you to kill something that will kill a person." It's like,
Is the priest like a weird like child molester?
I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
like-
a
I
thing.
think that's implied.
It's a pretty priestly thing to do.
yeah, it's a priest.
Yeah.
It's a priest
Doctor.
in a forest with a altar boy. He's obviously
Wow,
fucking
I am
altar
a
boy.
And
fake-
as the
I am a
youngest character in the
fake
group,
priest.
I
Fuck
am.
your butthole.
I am.
Pucker
But you're
up.
also like 6'5".
Pike.
6'8". Thank you very much.
Pike or your butthole.
Piker your butthole.
Yeah, so we're just gonna wait on our DM and our.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
No, Mr.
Mrs.
Surefrost.
Surefrost.
No,
Idiot.
Fire.
It's not even. Robin Williams is dead.
Whoa,
Say that.
let's not bring that up, man. That's a sad topic. We're trying to keep people happy.
Wow.
Want to keep Duncan happy?
Rob
Yeah,
Ford died today.
Somehow we didn't lose all the
Rob
people
Ford died
watching.
today.
Mayor?
Yeah, like Toronto Mayor.
And
Rip.
and Toronto News, in their headline, they apparently put like
Hotline
crack
Blues.
mayor died.
Shut up,
Dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Toronto.
He was like kind of a cool mayor.
He was an awesome mayor. Like
He did
he
crack all the
actually
time.
tried, and sure he had addiction and like problems because he had cancer and he was dying.
Yeah.
If I had
so
cancer,
much
I would do so
crack.
much crack. Like,
Dude, right? Like, if I was gonna be like a shell of my former self, I
Oh,
would just
yeah.
break
So
up
this
with
is
my wife.
degenerated from D&D into justifying crap.
Well, we
Yeah.
kept it up for a while, and then
This has actually been a crack talk while you
we're
were
talking about
while you were
Rob
away.
Ford. But
My new job is representing Duncan's comments at this table.
Oh, really? Okay.
Duncan doesn't need representation because Duncan is an asshole.
yeah,
That's for the DM.
I like Duncan.
So you're gonna like,
Duncan an
I'm
asshole.
watching right now.
Duncan, if you say anything incredibly interesting or funny or epic that deserves inspiration, you can give it to whoever you want.
Duncan
Oh, no.
can give us inspiration.
Duncan.
And you can also
never
take
get
it away by
inspiration.
bashing
What time is
people
it?
really badly.
Duncan
And I can
always
also
gives
give
me
you inspiration if you want to work that out for next time.
Alright, let's get back in.
Alright, so you guys are all out and about. You set up your camp. Do you guys want to investigate the church at all?
Yes. I do. And something tells me that this isn't so natural. Something screams out of the ordinary. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Cross?
Absolutely, Euphigenia. We should go investigate this church.
Should I roll an investigation check?
No. Actually,
Or should I
yeah,
use
just
my
roll it,
passive
roll it,
23
yeah.
perception?
No, just roll it. Yeah, we'll see what it is.
Ooh, it's just a
Investigation, actually.
wee little 8.
Oh my god.
Can I try and do better than 8? I don't think I will. But
You could
Oh,
try.
well, I mean, she goes to go check out the
Okay,
church. You're
okay.
kind of setting up camp.
Okay,
Elenia
no worries.
comes back. It's about noon now. You guys have eaten, drank. You're just kind of staring there as Euphigenia's ruffling through the edges of the church. You know, every time she gets to a new area, she has to know every detail of everything.
seems
If there's a
about right.
if there's a makeshift weapon at the back of a building, or if there's a barrels to hide in, or anything, she's always provided you with good information. However, she always has a high cost. She's the closest thing to a partner you have. You've convinced Elenia, or Illyria,
Illyria, yeah.
that she is also he is also part of the inner circle.
Okay.
So although the two of you do most of your plotting together, you let Illyria in so far as you can resolve what's going on. You definitely defer to Illyria for knowledge of monsters and things like that in general.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a lot of experience with things like the undead and other things that the Cross legacy has taken care of over the years.
Yeah.
But Illyria is your expert on monsters, and he is your expert on investigation and plan making.
Okay.
You don't have much to do though, so you set up the camp, set up everybody's tents, begrudgingly, of course, like usual.
Absolutely.
And of course, this is going to cost them out of their cut. So you put up the tents, and yeah, around noon, Illyria stumbles back into the clearing. You can see she's semi-disheveled.
It's a he.
Or he. Yeah, for some reason I always.
It's
Yeah.
I think Illyria's like a girl's name, but
Yeah. All right.
You're
So
an elf. A half elf.
yeah, half elves are basically all girls.
So
yeah, Legolas.
yeah, Illyria comes back into the clearing. You see him just burst through the trees. He's obviously covered in
Yeah.
bramble and this and that. He's been rushing around trying to get as much information as he can in the limited time he's got. So you guys know that really, if you want to help Dermid at all, you got to get information to him within the first day or so he can start causing more dissent. But 9 times out of 10, he causes more by himself than you ever could.
Seems about
By
right.
helping him out, yeah. So Illyria comes back. And yeah, so you
I'm back.
just see him walking in.
Oh, good to see you, lad. How was your foraging?
Well, you're still searching the
Oh.
church while he's
Okay, then.
while he approaches Cross.
I'll be doing that.
Lyra, you're back early.
Well, I couldn't really find much. There wasn't anything as far as creatures out there.
There's no creatures in the forest.
No.
Hmm.
I did see tracks of a pack of wolves, including a larger alpha male wolf.
Nah, that's fine. That's whatever.
Yes. And there's also a priest out there who's going towards the town, talking about some sort of a large creature.
A priest?
Priest. And a little altar boy.
A little altar boy.
Altar boy, yes.
Lyra, that's
Probably
very
some
strange.
sort of a sex slave, I think. That's what those priests like to do.
That is incredibly worrying.
Yes. Well, we're not little altar boys, so I think we should be fine.
Well, of course.
What have you guys been getting along to?
Well, Mrs. Euphigenia Shorefrost has been setting up camp, exploring the perimeter, and I have been in my carriage mostly drinking and smoking, and that's it.
So business as usual then.
Absolutely.
I'm doing all the heavy lifting and you guys are just standing back and doing nothing.
Heavy lifting? What? Are you kidding me?
I almost got raped by a priest.
You didn't get raped by a
I said
priest.
almost.
You want to get raped by a priest?
He
Says Cross.
didn't rape you. He was just passing through.
He wants me to kill a large creature so he could hire me to hunt the other large creature that's in this forest. I told him I would.
There's a large creature in this forest?
Yeah.
Dom, roll an insight check.
I literally just told you that.
7? Ooh.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's actually going to be decent. 22.
Fuck you!
So you just stare back at him and memories flood back to you. Gaiden, a rival of yours from further north near Neverwinter.
Oh, no.
This fool has come to towns before and caused you trouble. Charlatan or not, he is a very convincing adversary. You've had trouble with him before, as many of your cohorts tend to talk and talk and talk. This man tends to be silent and only volunteer the most necessary information. He's also manipulated you several times and tricked you time and time again, and yet you've always managed to come out even. You know there is a score to settle with yourself and with him. However, you don't know if he's going to take the road that leads to this small thorp. But if he does, you can be assured you will have another chance to get revenge against your greatest competitor and rival.
You said a priest
Yes.
with a small boy.
Yes. Do you know of him?
I know exactly the man. Gaiden! This son of a bitch.
Gaiden.
We have to leave now.
Has he been, like, fucking with the entire group, or just him?
Mainly just Cross.
Okay.
It's an old rivalry that goes back
Okay.
quite some time.
Okay, so since we've been monster hunters together, we haven't really seen Gaiden.
No, you haven't. Not at all. You have heard rumors of him around, but Cross has led you away from him for the most
So
part.
you never really mentioned him, or...
Yeah, but the thing about the situation between the two of these men is that you realize neither of them is aware of what the other does. As Cross has told you numerous different ideas that he's had as to the charlatanry of this man, a lot of the evidence that he gives you leads you to believe that he may actually be a genuine monster hunter.
So, tell me again
He's
who this...
the real Cross.
Tell me again who this Gaiden is.
You don't have to worry about that right now.
I
We
do.
have to get to town.
I do have to worry about it, because I need to know everything. I'm part of the crew. I'm part of the...
I tell you what, he is an evil, double-crossing man who you don't have to concern yourself with.
Should I kill him if I see him?
I mean, that would be a little extreme, but we definitely have to stop whatever ruse he's up
So
to.
just kill his child.
No, don't kill his we don't have to kill anything.
Okay.
We just have to get
Should I
them
shoot
out
him
of
in
my
the legs so he can't move and follow you anymore?
Illyria, we don't have to shoot anybody. We don't have to kill anybody. We just have to get them out of the town.
You hear a
Giving you
voice
some
yell
ideas.
from the church. I found something! It appears to be Euphigenia's voice. She
Looks
seems
like
to-
I found something.
There you go.
Alright. Should we go now?
I guess so.
So you guys storm around the edge of the church. She's at the back. She appears to have cleared away some rubble from a rear entrance and found a stairwell leading down into the darkness.
What is this you found?
Looks like it's a stairwell down to either a cellar, perhaps a basement. I haven't the slightest idea, nor am I the one to go exploring all by my lonesome self.
Well,
Wouldn't you think, though, Olivia?
Oh, I could go for you, don't worry.
Oh, aren't you just the sweetest lad? Wouldn't your mother be so proud?
She would, oh, I think. Okay, I will,
she's dead. Idiot.
I thought she said she would have been. It's all in the syntax.
Alright, I will sneak down to the basement.
Are you going to follow him down?
I'm going right behind him.
Okay.
Maybe in front of him. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what's down there.
Roll off. Whoever gets higher goes
first.
first.
4.
12.
Okay, you go first.
12. So Cross immediately starts walking down the stairs, and you knock an arrow behind him, or what, or whatever you do.
I hit cross my head there.
It's extremely dark down there, though, so you will need a light source.
Okay. I'm gonna cast light then.
Oh.
Okay, what do you cast it on?
Magic user.
Just my staff.
Okay.
Just kind of clink it down, and then the light just
Yeah,
just
the bulb
emanates
kind of
from
turns
the-
on.
yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
Alright, sounds good.
It's a light.
So, yeah, Cross just positions himself in front of the stairs and taps the staff on the ground. And you see a beautiful light illuminate from it. And he holds it forth and starts heading down into the darkness. The darkness pushes back, and you move deeper down the stairs and realize that this is indeed a basement to the church. However, as soon as the light passes across the floor of cobble at the bottom, you realize there are skeletal remains that have been scattered about the floor. It doesn't appear as if anything has been using this entrance. However, there are old skeletal body parts. All pieces of humans, you would assume. From the one or two corpses you can see from about halfway down the stairs, it seems as though they were alive when they died down here, as the bones are fairly close to each other.
Roll investigation check.
Do you want to go downstairs and investigate first, or?
I'm gonna go with them. I'm following behind. I'm following behind them. Wouldn't I be?
Alright, so...
At least. Close
Maybe
enough.
pull out your trusty book of information about skeletons. Since
All the things I may possess in this sweet little old head of mine. I'll follow behind and I'll investigate as we go.
Okay,
Or can I use my perception, my passive? with
so
23?
you're going first, you're halfway down the stairs, you kind of stop and see the skeletons. Illyria, you look over, just like over his shoulder, and you can see them as well.
Oh, I think there's something down here with us right now.
Cross is frozen in fear, a little bit. Trying to keep his composure, but he's
If you stop, I'll kind of go a little bit ahead of you, and I'll just...
after you, Illyria.
Roll an insight check.
Insight?
Yeah.
Oh, 13.
13. Alright, you start moving down the stairs and you see Cross freeze. You look over, see the bodies. And then you see the tension kind of release. And he continues down the stairs calmly. You see dust across the floor, some on the bones piled. These have been here for some time. As well, there are burn marks on the ground, as well as around their hole as well.
Okay.
So you run your hand along the wall and you see the ash fall off of it, crisp and burnt to the rock. Roll your investigation for your vulnerability.
It's a 7.
Alright.
We're not even rolling double digits this campaign.
Alright. So what are you doing? You're in the middle?
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'll kind of strafe off a bit to the right, as much as the light will allow me to go, and I'll just kind of look as much as possible, and maybe sniff the air, see if I can smell anything odd.
Okay, roll perception.
Woo! That's better. Oh, 16.
16. Alright, so you kind of look around. Can't really see too much. As you guys head, you're just going to enter the room at the bottom of the stairs, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay, so Cross proceeds down into the room and begins shining his light across the place. You do see numerous dilapidated barrels. There are skeletal bodies all over the place. You would assume at least 60 people died here. There's no town or civilization or anything nearby enough to justify this many people in a building this new burned to the ground.
How do they look like they all died about the same time? Like all the skeletons about the same age?
Yeah, this was probably a single event, you would assume. It looks like no one's come down here.
Seems like there was probably a cult in here.
Illyria, Euphigenia, it seems like we have ourselves a lead.
Alright, what was your
Elite.
investigation?
Oh, the last one was not so nice. It was actually quite paltry. 7.
7?
An unspectacular 7.
Alright. So you guys head downstairs, start moving around the room. Roll your perception, or you can use investigation. Not really concerned
18.
which. 18, okay.
21.
16.
Okay. Roll an insight check.
Insight?
Start hyping up the stuff. So
God damn it. 6.
Alright, so you guys
Oh,
look amongst
dude.
these barrels and other things, and yeah, it appears to be a storage cellar full
It's
of barrels. Most of which are smashed open, some are not. You knock on some of them and they're solid.
Okay.
There is liquid in 2 of them. The barrels themselves are about 10 feet wide, tipped on their side, and they're about 6 or 8 feet deep, from what you can tell.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about all that's down here. You can tell.
oh my god.
I'm gonna tap one of the barrels and just see what happens.
Okay, deal. Do it.
One of the solid ones?
Yeah.
Okay, so
With like alcohol on it. Yeah.
seems like it's full of some kind of liquid, or it's full of some kind of grain, or something like that. Euphigenia cracks open one of the bung holes at the bottom.
Mhm.
And you just see barley start pouring and pouring and pouring out. She plugs it again. Roll a intelligence check. Yeah.
16?
16? Alright.
Oh, actually, sorry, 18.
18?
Nice.
You would guess that this grain, given to the right town, sold in the right circumstances, and manipulated through the right channels, could possibly make you as many as 15 to 30 gold pieces. All it needs is some muscle to bring out of here. It doesn't look rotted or molded or rotten at all. Although the dust down here would argue otherwise.
That's fine. It's quite strange.
Yeah.
So it appears that with this barley, we could have found ourselves a tidy little profit of maybe 15 to 30 gold in the right circumstances. So, and with the right muscular persuasion, we might be able to get it out of the basement. As you know, I am really in no shape to be lifted.
As you say muscular persuasion, I just look right at Illyria. Like,
I don't think I can lift this. I'm not the strongest.
You'll probably need the brothers. You guys are kind of the brains and the muscles off doing the job.
Well,
You
check
could
as
get
usual.
you could probably get them
As
upstairs if
usual.
all three of you worked at it together. But any one of you would think that's way too much effort when you got those boys around. They're big, they're strong, they pretty much do whatever you tell them.
Big
where is Braun when we need him?
So, Braun!
Speak of the devil.
I'm gonna say Braun kind of like has his little spot ready as he's seeing at this point probably the sun going down.
Actually, it's
Or-
about 1 o'clock. You've been watching the place for quite a while. I mean,
Okay.
you're not bored. You don't mind sitting still for long periods of time. It gives you lots of time for self-introspection, and also no one expects anything of you, so you don't have to speak or lie or whatever you need to do to get by in social graces.
Yeah.
So, as you sit there, you see the barn, and it's got a set of doors on the second story that appears to be for throwing old bales out or whatever. And something smashes up against it.
Can I perception to get to like focus in and see what it actually is, or
Roll.
Jesus.
8?
Oh no.
Okay. All right, so you stand up, and the doors burst forth, and you see the young man thrown from the barn. Through the hole, you see nothing but darkness, and the man falls and falls and falls as if thrown into the door. And he hits the ground hard, rolls 2 or 3 times, and comes to a slow stop.
How easily is the costume to get off? We haven't really discussed that.
Roll d20.
20. Not 20.
Christ.
Take off the goddamn
So
costume!
you get up.
the most
Take off
useless
my
thing.
Vampire costume.
Yeah.
I
you roll to get
completely
naked.
forgot to put on.
Okay.
So-
Great rolling.
Yeah. You took it off for lunch and you forgot to put the
Costume back
costume
on.
back
obviously.
on.
I go, oh, so in my thought process is, Braun is not a very angry, like, actually vile person. And he sees someone in danger, he will be cautious, but he will investigate.
Alright.
So,
Solid.
not in a slow kind of crawl kind of, I'm gonna be in a quite decent pace to see if I can actually help this person before whatever threw him through the door is upon him.
Comes out towards him, alright.
Mm-hmm.
So you approach.
But I do not cross that threshold to actually reveal myself before
Okay.
I do get the full scope of what's going on.
So you're still gonna remain hidden, okay.
Yes.
So roll your stealth check to see how well you sneak up.
10.
10! Cool, so you sneak up Braum style. You just kind of walk through the woods and everything crunches under your feet, even rocks.
Yeah, not the
So-
stealthiest man.
Yeah, so you walk up to the edge and peer through. The man appears to still be... He's just still.
hmm
As you look closer, you can tell there is blood around him, all over the ground, all over his clothes. And there's also blood on the 2 doors that are swinging open. But you can see nothing in the darkness of the barn.
Mm. Braun, what do you do? I'm not supposed to reveal myself. That throws our entire scope out of perspective, but man might die. I do not like man.
So the chickens are kind of, after the door burst open, the chickens and the 2 cows are kind of making quite a bit of noise. But even a child would realize that there's no sound from inside the barn. A barn big enough for at least a dozen or more livestock.
How close is the man to the edge of the wood?
He's about, I'd say 20 feet from the barn and maybe 50 feet from the woods.
Ugh. I will ready myself. I'm going to slowly make my way towards the man, keeping a close eye on the entire barn, not just the door. That's a fool's errand, just to keep an eye on the door itself, because it could be anywhere by this point. It's been quite a while.
And there are several other buildings.
Yeah,
occasional
so I'm gonna
fence,
keep.
things like
I'm gonna
that.
try to keep everything in scope and make my way to the man.
Okay. The only thing really blocking you from the man is a fence, which is easy enough to climb and jump over.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We can roll in
Well, you climb over
Okay.
it easily. It's just like a long wooden fence that runs the property.
Okay.
So you crawl over and start approaching the man wearily. You're looking around, and you can't roll an insight. Actually,
Please.
Seven.
7. All right. And your perception.
Now passive.
Just roll it.
Okay. Well, that's better. 16.
16. All right.
Nice.
So you approach the man lying on the ground, and as you get closer and closer and closer, you see that his shirt is torn open. There are 3 deep gouges in his shoulder, possibly claws or teeth, or
Can I?
possibly.
I have spent a lot of time with Aunt Eugene. Can I insight to see if I recognize these from the stories that she has bestowed upon me?
Yeah, you can try to. Yeah.
Not a thing. 3.
So yeah,
Could
you're
be
assuming
anything.
they're claw marks.
Yeah.
You assume they're claw marks. You see them.
Um.
However, you guys don't typically deal with too many.
Is he
real
passed out?
dangers. He's definitely unconscious. His face down. You can tell there is blood oozing away from him, but you're not sure if he's breathing or not.
Okay.
So you, as you continue towards the body or the man, you look up into the barn, and at one point you see something move, and you freeze, grab your sword
Warhammer.
or hammer. So, anyways, your hammer's out, so you just freeze, paralyzed for a split second. You're like, oh, what was that? But nothing.
How close am I to the man at this point?
Probably about 20 feet. He's an equal distance from the barn from you.
I'm 6'6". I look like a demon. My intimidate check's not that great though. Can I roll perception to see if I glimpsed anything of any discernible, like, shape or size or anything like that?
You saw a flicker of movement. Could have been a bird, could have been a man, could have been an ogre.
I'm gonna keep cautiously moving towards the man.
Okay.
No sudden movements. Keeping, again, not a focus on the door, but on the entire barn. At this point, I realize it is still in the barn, but it doesn't have to leave the door.
Yeah, I mean, Braun's been in dangerous situations before in his life. It's a dangerous land. So you kind of survey the area as you move up to him, lower yourself down, feel his chest, and you can feel a very, very shallow breath coming in and out of him. He's badly wounded, though. He is bleeding profusely from what you... roll a medicine check, actually, to appraise this guy.
That would be a 12.
12? Alright, so he's got a bad wound on his shoulder. You don't know if he has any internal injuries or anything like that because you don't have training or knowledge of any of those things. But you've seen better people. Walk away from less.
Okay.
He's in serious danger, though. If this guy does not get immediate medical treatment,
How good of shape is this guy? Is he a pushover? Is he someone that could be taken advantage of easily? Or is he kind of that strong farmer that shouldn't take a hit like this super easily.
Well, I mean, he's scrawny, but you can tell he's farm strong. You know what I mean? He has wiry, knotted muscles. He is quite young, but he looks incredibly fit. Doesn't look extremely well fed, but yeah, he seems very healthy farm boy.
Okay.
He's probably, I don't know, 5'8", 5'9". He's not large, but yeah.
Okay. So, whatever did this to him did it with ease. And Braun's job here is not to fight a monster.
Braun is monster.
Yes. Braun throws child on shoulder and slowly backs away.
Alright, so you slowly start backing away from the barn,
Mm-hmm.
and in the darkness you see 2 points of red light from the side and peer out at you. At first you're just like, there's no way this is actually happening. And then as you look, you realize this feeling of uncertainty overwhelms your body.
Mm-hmm.
Something's not only watching you, it's looking right at you with no fear or anything to the points. There are clearly eyes that watch you, and all you can think is, I remember slaughtering a bunch of wolves with Dermid for one of our pranks. With the same eyes. You slowly move back towards the edge of the barn, and or sorry, the edge of the property. Yeah, and you hear the back barn doors smash apart.
I'm going to jump that fence.
Alright. So,
Braun runs like fuck.
Not 20.
Alright, so Braun just leap. You don't jump the fence, you run through the fence, it explodes into pieces, and you sprint off into the woods. How far are you gonna go? This guy is. Like, you don't even know if like, he could be dead in your arms right now just from moving him.
Yeah, at this point, Braun is more concerned about Braun's life than puny farm child.
Okay. So you run and run and run and run and run. Dermid. So, after being showered with breakfast and congratulations on your most illustrious career, which is of course entirely fabricated. Well, for the most part, there's some truth to it, you swear. But really, you're in this tavern. Most of the people have moved into this place. It looks like it's just like a local drinking hall. There's no signage, nothing like that to attract travelers or strangers. So, as these people pull you in, you hear their accents and realize that, like, there's a strange hint of something that you can't decipher. It's not a typical Sword Coast accent, which you think is interesting, but, they're bumpkins, whatever. Moving on to the next thing, you notice dozens of people with different expressions on their face. Some are extremely concerned, but there's a group of about maybe a dozen of the men only. They appear completely unconcerned with the situation at all as the priest continues talking to you when you finish your meal. He looks up at you and says, "Oh, how did you like your meal?"
It was fantastic, actually. This is interesting.
You're eating worms.
It was great. Nothing too bad.
What?
So, like,
So you said you were a
garbage in the
professional werewolf hunter.
Take you out of
Of sorts, yes. I also do.
Professional werewolf hunter? Sorry, I'm getting the accent, guys.
Well, not just that. I do the occasional vampire staking, some spirit exorcising. A lot of lycanthrope slaying is really my expertise. Demon banishment is, I think, realistically, we can all do that.
Lycanthropy.
Yes, there's a range of different creatures. You could have were-squirrels, were-bears, were-lions, tigers, bears, oh my, right?
Deception check. For sure, on this guy. For this meal and up to and including you trying to convince this guy that you were actually some kind of monster hunter. So are you going to perform your stories, or are you going to...
am
how
I
are you going
going-
to convince this guy?
Not only have I slayed beasts and birds and creatures and demons, I have seen what darkness lies in the future for some places. I have some sort of foresight in these things, and what I can see here is lots of darkness, friends. As I said before, I am the light to this darkness. I am Dermid.
Oh, yes.
So I'm
You
going
seem to be a man of light.
to crush this score, actually.
I rolled a 3.
No, it's 21 on the performance check. And I go on. Sometimes in the nights, I see the creatures I've killed. They come back to haunt me. These beings stick with the man, and they have stuck with me. They cling on to my soul and bear me down to this earth as a mortal creature. I am yet just a device used by the divines, the sun, the moon. All the powers are channeled through me to defeat these beasts. And in my heart, I know one day they will, in the end, thwart me in my attempts to do good for this land.
Alright, you see people just mumbling amongst themselves excitedly. Roll an insight check.
Oh, 17 again. So it's a 16.
16, alright. You can tell this man is clearly impressed with you and trying not to tell you anything about it. But he says, well then... Or no, sorry, I've got to get the accent now. Yes, it seems as though you have the experience we need. So, why don't you go out and try your plan? Is there anything the town needs,
Well,
and what kind of
absolutely
cost
first,
does it have?
Well, usually, when it comes to lycanthropy slang, which I am an expert in, it runs usually about 200 to 300 gold pieces per beast. Now that is saying a lot, but a werewolf is not only just a single issue, it spreads like a plague and a disease. Lycanthropy goes one person to the next, until the whole town you have is running with werewolves. And I quickly draw my dagger and point it at it. One of you could already be one of these beasts. You don't even know it. And I kind of slide it away, and I kind of sit back in my chair. And I notice an old man sitting next to me. I grab him by the shirt. It could be you, old man. I look him in the eyes, and I give him something like I give with the flint of my eye, the light. I go, "Could be you, old man. Is it you?" I look at his arms and I push him back, and maybe not. But we do not know. From what I've heard, stories around, I was polite beforehand, but now I am serious in the fact that I think there is some sort of werewolf incursion in your town. There could be one, there could be two. The thing is, I will handle it. And I will figure out what is going on here. Now, mind you, I'm not one to leave a situation, but if payment is not good, as you know, it may not be worth my life. There are other people I could save.
So you hear a hush fall over the crowd as they're mumbling amongst themselves. And the priest, you see his eyes kind of flicker left and right as his flock starts to react to your story. And he says, well, in that case, why don't we have you try to slay our beast for, well, what can we get together for this? He just looks around across the crowd. People start talking to each other and throwing everything they can together. He wanders around with this large wooden bowl made of dark black wood and fills it with coins of copper and silver and platinum. He also fills there's slips of paper and as you know, these bumpkins usually give IOUs for a place if you ever want to stay, and you get all sorts of crap in these collections as they happen.
I also kind of pipe up a bit as well, and I go out.
The collection is usually a bad thing, because generally when you make a lot of money, a noble sponsor of some kind is going to throw something at you. So they hand you a bowl. Make an intelligence check to see if you...
Oh my god!
I'm whipping it.
What
is it?
Throws it a
3.
quarter.
It's a 3?
3. You're so stupid.
Idiot. Right, Duncan?
Yeah, there's easily 200 coins in there.
Coins.
Coins, 200 coins.
Yeah.
Perfect. I also go. Yeah, coin is great as well, but I feel if I would have to count it, and I feel that is rude in presence. So if maybe perhaps you guys could count this coin and then tell me, and then we can make up the.
Well, actually, your insight is that it's a bowl full of money worth. You're guessing maybe 200 gold. You're not that interested. It's a bowl of money.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think this would be enough, but as well as some, I will need some food and provisions. A few things would be great. Also, I really like this bowl, so if I can have that as well, that'd be great.
The bowl as well. Fucking brother.
Alright, this looks. You just see a few people looking around. It's like, yeah, he's gonna take it. And the priest says to you, alright, we shall give you this bowl when you come with the werewolf,
God, you're useless.
and we will give you
You're fired.
as much food and a few cows, and we have chickens and many other things you could have.
Perfect. This sounds fantastic. Now, I may warn you here. If I bring you back a werewolf pelt, usually they are twisted, destroyed, broken, and the thing is, I'm not polite on these beasts when I slay them. I slash them, I hack them, I destroy them in ways your mind can't even begin to imagine. And I produce flame, I make a fireball in my hand, and I go with fire and steel, and I pull my sword out. It's like, I will hunt this beast,
So
and I
you
will slay him.
Produce the flame into your hand.
Yeah.
And they all bow down and worship.
They call you a witch.
Son of God.
You see a whole bunch of people just back away from you immediately.
What is that?
And they're obviously shocked. Most of these people have not seen any magic in their lives. But you're used to this, to little bumpkins outside of town. A few of them kind of like eye each other and you wearily. Like, what the hell is this guy? And the priest says to you, alright, well, what I'll do for you is if you allow us to help you to hunt the beast, or if you can bring us the tattered pelt, I'll pay you the gold and the bowl. But if you can bring it intact, I'll pay you out of the church's own coffers.
Excellent, that'd be fantastic. So, and another thing, if I do manage to capture this creature in human skin, I will slay him then, but then it's a lot more unseemly to bring a human corpse back into town, especially with people who... it may just seem like a murder to most folks. So I want all you to know, if I do any killing in this town, it will be justified. My blade does not strike beings that are not evil.
Roll a deception check.
I've never hit it.
3.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I got a 18.
Yeah, you don't actually... Well, none of you would have the inclination to beat, kill, or murder anyone?
No.
18.
Okay.
We're nice boys.
So he just says,
Too nice. 3
well,
Friend zoned.
please do not bring a corpse of a man. We do not wish for a man to be killed. We wish for the wolf. And if he is in the form of the man, bring him before the council.
Oh, and he'll go on trial. Perfect. I like the way you think. Lots of less murder. But the only problem with that is that the fact that you bring him into town, he becomes 100% more volatile. And the fact that the town knows that he's a werewolf will perhaps may enrage him to go on a murderous rampage. And I cannot have that. That's also why I can't have any of you coming with me when I go tracking this beast. It is far too dangerous for you people to be hurt. And you've offered me this fine gold, this bowl, and some livestock here. I can't take that willingly, knowing that anyone would be in danger.
Well, you know, we must... Oh, roll a perception, actually, or persuasion, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got
That's a
it.
17.
Alright, so you see the crowd again react to your words. And the priest is sizing up what you're saying, but you don't see much reaction from him. He looks around and kind of with his eyes and tip of the head sizes up the crowd, who seems very intrigued by your offer, and says to you, alright, in that case, you shall have your gold and your bowl and some cows and chickens too, so long as you bring us the werewolf and the killing stop.
Perfect, I can do that for sure.
But you must give us a week in which you must stay here to prove that the beast is gone. I will not give our savings to some stranger.
Right. Well, the thing, I may need to mull this over a little bit because I am a very busy man. I hear tales across the land that there may be some sort of vampiric incursion further along, so I need to go towards that and handle that situation as well. It is very imperative that I do.
Roll 2d20.
Okay.
Double tens?
Double tens.
Tens.
That's a 20,
Yeah.
right?
It's a 20.
Alright. The door bursts open, and you look over and you see a man in dark brown robes with some small page next to him. And he says, "Bring me the priest of this town." And the man looks up, and you see, roll insight actually.
It's 13.
You see a twinge of uncomfortableness and uncertainty at which he didn't even look at you with as this man opens the door.
I'll
Guys. So you guys are downstairs, looking through. You kind of just determine what was of value, and they keep trying to size up if anything else could be useful, but you're well beyond that point. So when you become bored, you start fantasizing about, oh, I wish this was cow bones so I could just make a marrow out of it all. And you pick up one of the femurs and start throwing it in your hand. And as you catch it, you see gnaw marks. Deep gnaw marks in the bone. As you look at it, you're like, maybe a wolf or a dog or something like that.
Or a bear.
When you flip it over, it's the tooth of a man that you see in this bone. A man's tooth embedded deep in the bone. It's a weird person. This man's femur.
Oh, it might be a cannibal case. Apparently someone down here has taken a liking to the flesh of humans or human-like creatures. As you can see here, I found a human tooth embedded in one of these bones.
Cannibals. You really think these are cannibals?
This is a human tooth, is it not? Is it not? Oh,
It's obviously a lycanthrope.
that makes as much sense as any I've come to discover. What do you think, Dr. Cross?
A human tooth inside of a human body. This is terrifying.
You guys,
Certainly
do a
Don't
medicine
be
check.
afraid.
Yeah, all three of you actually can do it. Wisdom check. Yeah.
Wisdom?
A 14.
Ooh, 18, so 20.
20? Okay. You've seen this kind of thing in the past. Not a tooth and a bone, but a man eating a man. It wasn't a man, though. It was a bunch of men and women eating a bunch of men and women. And all you remember are the screams of your sister. You see Illyria
Savage.
immediately just spin and like storm up out of the cellar. Oh, Jesus. Move away and just like move up.
Illyria.
Gone to her, I suppose.
Illyria, wait!
Let's go after him.
I go after him.
I don't feel like standing down here with all these corpses.
And the dark.
We'll leave the oats down here. It's to be had if we should so need it, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my remaining strength for the day lifting something that sizable out of a basement.
Same. Bye.
So, Larry, you know this is not a fang of the creatures that took your sister, but some of them looked as normal as a normal human, and they fed just like those of the white skin that you saw with them. So you do know that some types of the creatures you hunt keep thralls of men who they force to feed on the flesh of others. As far as you've researched, it's a self-respect thing. They enjoy seeing humans feed on each other because they're flesh. It's like
So they're just
chicken fighting
vampire
almost.
thralls that have been...
Tortured, mutilated.
Okay.
It seems there also was a fire here, though, and it is a church. Vampires cannot walk on hallowed ground.
This is far worse than we could have imagined.
What is it, Illyria?
It was not a werewolf, but thralls of vampires. Humans who have been...
Also vampires?
Thralls of humans who have been tortured and mutilated.
Roll a religion check.
Me? Uh-oh.
I'll roll one too.
All of you can do a wisdom check.
14.
All of us?
Religion.
14 as well, dear.
14.
Alright, all of you 14.
14.
You all
Number
know
of the
about-
beast.
You're all- so you pull the tooth forth, and as you two are speaking, Mrs. Sherfrost approaches. As you look at it, it is a normal human tooth in all capacities. It's stuck inside of a bone. It's been down here for a long, long, long time. But the thing you realize is that the bones caught your eye. They weren't covered in dust like many of the others, but there are no steps or footprints. Nothing amongst the basement to give you any evidence that anyone had come down here at all. But when you picked up the bone, you picked it up because it was white, and you were just interested. A single bone in the center of the room with a single tooth stuck inside.
Seems a little eerie, doesn't it? A single bone, white, stuck in the middle of the room. with
It's
a
almost
tooth
like
in
they
it.
wanted us to find it.
But who's they? Whoever was here before. Seems like. Well, what should we do? This seems to be as if this is a troublesome place to stay for the night.
The one bone, does it look like newer, fresher? Like it looks like it belongs to the rest of them, or
It does not look like it's the same age as these, based on your roll earlier. It is quite a bit newer. As you, who has medicine actually?
Not me.
I have a little bit of medicine.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
I guess you have like a shit ton. of
wisdom.
Little- little
you,
bit,
you can
yeah.
use your wisdom instead. You don't need to be trained for it.
Okay.
So roll your
Wisdom?
medicine or wisdom.
oh, okay. 19.
19. All right. So you just snatch the bone away from her and look at it.
Mhm.
As you examine it, it's a human. 100%. Human tooth.
Okay.
Then you realize this bone is laced in black. And so you smack it against the wall and it shatters apart. And you look inside and you can see the marrow. It's far too fresh, soft and red, with black laced through it, which is unusual.
What is that black?
I'm not entirely sure.
May I roll me insight check, perhaps?
Could be some kind of poison, disease. Could be a number of things. If you're not trained in medicine, though, you wouldn't know.
Which I am not.
So yeah, I just like notice it. I'm not really like I don't know what it is. I guess
Okay.
that's okay.
All right, sounds good. So, you guys continue with your exploration of the basement. Braun is standing outside. Here's the door smashes through the wall. Sprints and sprints and sprints. And then eventually you come to the edge of the ridge in which you started. And as soon as you get close to it, you kind of stop, double back. It's probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. You're just like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Looking behind you, you can't see anything in the woods. You've just been running and running and running. Whatever it was, it smashed a couple of giant barn doors open a couple of times without much effort. You almost can't believe it even happened. You're like, there might actually be something here. Unless I just witnessed some kind of murder. But yeah, you come to the edge of the ridge where they had pulled the carriage over, and you're not entirely sure where the hell they are. So you realize that your warning is really going to be impossible to give unless you can make a perception check to try and track the man.
20.
Not a 20.
Well, what else do you want to do? You get to the edge, you can't see them anywhere.
Okay.
Performance.
I see the town, and the crowd's gone at this point.
Crowd is almost completely gone. There's a few people crowded around a large building near the center of the circle. It's staggered in near the fountain.
I do know that my brother would be in town, and that they would have found somewhere to probably spend the night.
Well,
I'm going to do a medicine check to see if the man on my shoulder is still alive at this point, since I've actually taken a second to stop running.
Good guy, bro.
okay, so you stop. You don't even need to take a medicine check.
He's
The
dead.
body on your shoulder is cold as ice. And you kept wanting to stop yourself earlier, but it's like, what the fuck's behind me? What the? And so you ran, and you realize this guy was beyond your help. There's not much you could have done, but as you lay him down, you look at him, and you see his throat has been slashed open.
So yeah, I'm not going to...
With 4 claws. His back and shoulder are also slashed open with 4 claws.
Braun knows that
Keep
if I
killing
try to bring this body into town, they will think I've killed this man. Even
That's
though
happened
my
before.
hands cannot do such things. My only hope is to find Aunt Jean and Dr. Cross, and maybe they can enlighten me on what happened.
Alright.
And I need to let them know that it's not just wolves this time. They are not prepared. They are old and naive.
Old!
Roll your investigation.
And
Nice.
Indians. And fuckboys.
15. Perception or investigation?
Well, what are you looking for
I'm-
their tracks?
Well, I
You're
know where they
trying to
left
spot
off, so I'm
them.
looking for the
Yeah.
definite newest wagon
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, you're searching around for any evidence of a carriage going by or whatever.
So
I would say
15.
let's investigate. Yeah. All right. So you see the tracks leading back down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And a flare of color catches your eye, and you look up, and there's a man staring at you, leaning against the edge of the road
So spooky.
on a tree. And he's covered in very bright, vibrant colored scarves and vests, and he looks like some kind of gypsy, like a Roma from Central Europe. And his hair is dark, his eyes are keen and sharp, and his curiosity is obviously perked. But you see nothing of fear,
Mm-hmm.
only interest in the man's eyes as he gazes upon you standing over this corpse, and his voice echoes from beneath the cowl he has drawn up, and he says, "Who are you, beast who walks in the dark with bodies that no one sees? You seem scared of something."
Braun is no beast. Braun is man. You see body, I try to help man. You have all humans, all the like, judge without any investigation. Just like all of them. Unlike group.
Says, "Yes. I do judge without investigation. But what do I judge you on? I judge you now from what you say, and what you see, what you think. But you don't even know what you think, do you? Are you even the one you claim you are? Do you even know anymore?
Braun is Braun. Braun is part of group. Braun follows Aunt Jean. And Doctor. And Brother. And Deer Hunter.
A friend and brother, a stranger in the wilds, a priest that's a fool, and another
Whoa, bud.
with a mind. We'll see what you can do in this place, if you can. Why did you come to this place if not for gold? Gold means nothing to you, does it, Braun?
Braun came for group. Came to help. Unfortunate that Braun couldn't. Braun. Braun know why I talk to you.
Braun knows less than he knows. You have a man some of you call leader, others do not. Not in the light of day, but in the dark places, they know who the leader is. Gives this to that man. Flicks you something you catch out of the air. Look at your palm. It appears to be a coin with a man's head on it. As you look up, the rope figure has vanished.
I flip it over to see what's on the other side.
Flip it over, it's the same head. What languages do you speak?
Common and Infernal.
So you cannot read the scripture on the outside. But the man's face, he appears to be Caucasian. He's got a clean-cut haircut. He's obviously wearing some kind of noble's clothes, but I mean, it's in a language that you don't recognize. It kind of looks like common, but it's not quite. The alphabet's slightly different, and there's no punctuation, and there are missing letters, and it almost looks like an old version of common from way back in the day.
Braun does not like new land. And I stuff like the coin in my pocket. I look down at the man on the ground and contemplate on what to do with him exactly. Think of just leaving him in case I run into any other estranged travelers on the road. Think maybe Doctor and Jean might not believe me without evidence.
You are standing on the edge of the town with the corpse laying on the ground.
I'm going to look around nervously to see if anyone else has seen me or if this is the only man that has tried to or has seen me and whatnot.
Go ahead.
13.
13? Don't see anything around. However, you do see the tracks of the carriage leading back. You can follow them pretty easily, you'd think.
Then I'll pick up the dead corpse and follow the tracks back to the caravan in quite the fast pace again, because now I have two things that have scared Braun. For Braun knows that Braun should not be seen outside of disguise. Braun has forgot disguise. Braun cannot go back for disguise.
Alright, so the door bursts open.
I immediately grab the priest's arm and I go, is he one of your flock? Is he part of your town?
He just looks over you quickly. You see a rage for a split second.
Okay, man, tell me.
Completely vanishes. It's a rage and then it disappears in the calm stillness. No, I do not know the man in which you speak. He seems to be new. We shall greet him as
I pull
well.
him in close and I go, listen, my friend, this may be the wolf. That maybe he may have heard our plans, our plot. He may try to undo us now here, so you must stand by me strongly here. We will talk to him, we will greet him, but we cannot trust him.
Roll persuasion.
Please. Roll. Yeah, that's a 16.
Nice.
Oh, no, that's
That's a
a
17.
Nice.
Yeah, so,
nice.
Our bard being useful?
God.
This side of the table being used.
Take that, Duncan.
I have, what am I doing? Persuasion?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's plus
5.
4. That's 2. Oh, it is 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been calculating those on random rolls. and
I've
stuff.
been doing...
Alright, so you hear a voice billow out. Hold your lies, coward! As he points at you. You are the very beast yourself that you wish to evict from these people's
Right, enough of you
lands.
talking here. Listen. Now, do I look like a werewolf? Do I look like I howl in the moon? Do you think I do well in the shadows, friend? Absolutely not. My hair is enough proof to say that I'm not even of that capability.
So a hush falls over the people spread across the mead hall, the tavern, as you would call it. And the man steps forward and he says, I can prove that this man is a beast, and the one in which you would give your faith is the one in which they would take your souls. I require no payments. Nothing at all. I only wish to prove this man is evil.
Right, well, the thing is you can do that without any pay, but I promise you won't do very well. The creatures out there are definitely not in this room. Now, the only way I could perhaps maybe see is if you have any silver. Now, if you hunt werewolves like I hunt werewolves, you would know that werewolves do not like silver. Now, if anyone has any in here, and I looked at the bowl full of coins.
There are a few silver coins, but you're sure those are alloys, like they're not pure silver or anything.
I look around. It's like, does anyone have any pure silver around? Any keepsake? I don't wish to take it at all. I wish to hold it as proof that I am not this beast.
You just hear a hush fall across the room, and then the priest says, I have silver, and pulls forth the robed man, the priest, Leary had seen on the robe with the page.
Yeah.
It is the same man indeed. Pulls forth a raw chunk of silver. You guys, do you have any silver on you?
Not I.
If we had the monster pack, we would, but we
Not
don't.
Braun.
Someone has the monster.
I do.
Yeah, so you
You
have
do.
silver on you.
Yeah.
So he draws forth a piece of silver and he says, This is pure silver.
And I pull from my bag my pure silver.
Which
Right.
is in the shape of a cross.
It's a holy symbol, and it's just one that Xavier Cross kind of told me about. It's just being like a divine god of like the sun or something.
Well, this is the symbol you have is the symbol of Helm. He's a god of justice and righteousness and valor and things like that. So.
Well, the thing is here now, mind you, you're holding a piece of silver and I am holding a piece of silver. Now, I'm not sure if I can trust your silver, and I'm sure these people can't trust mine either, because, as you know, we are both new to this town. Now, one person is now claiming accusations as just pointing the fingers. I did not trust you because there is an actual situation here. Now, if you are what you actually say you are, which is a monster hunter, then we will work together in this. If you are not, though, then hold my silver, and I shall hold yours.
He just says, Monster hunter, I am not. I am a man of the gods. Take my silver, and I shall take yours. And we shall see who the true vampire, or the true,
Beast is.
maybe.
Before I even touch it, I'm just going to analyze it and look. I'm looking around his hand, his wrist, anything that could be like some sort of trick to perhaps put me in a bad situation here. So I'm specifically looking at the silver to see if it is silver.
Okay, perception.
Oh boy! 16.
16 appears to be.
And that's just kind of analyzing. I'll place my silver into his hand.
Okay. It rests in his hand fine. You see him close it, open his hand. He says, Here it be for all of you to see. I have silver in my hand, his and mine. And now, for the exchange, and hands it to you.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. I'll take that.
What?
So I'll take again, my silver first.
Okay, so you take your silver and then you take his. But like, you kind of reach forward and he just like holds his hand out and drops the silver into your hand. And as it does, you feel something else fall into your hand, almost the size of the small silver nugget. It falls in your hand, and the man immediately says, "Ah! Oh, sorry. Ah! A werewolf. You are not." And he smiles at you.
Quite observant you are, yes. And I hand him his silver nugget back.
Okay. He takes it back from you. Do you hand... There's another item in your hand that he dropped in there. Subtly. Are you going to hand that back as well?
I give him an eyebrow raise and I go, perhaps we may need to talk away from these folk about what we are actually doing here and how to stop this beast. I keep giving him eyebrow raises.
Alright,
Gesturing towards the door. We will be back and I will figure out what is what about this gentleman.
Okay. The priest just says, "Why?" Well, the local priest says, "Why? Why must you take this man outside to plan? You know that we need to ensure the safety of our town."
Well, absolutely, but the thing is, we can talk... Well, I think what needs to happen here is that we can actually start the hunt now. And this man seems to be professional enough to the point where I think I can trust him in this fact, that if we are working towards a common goal, we may work together. Now, we can start immediately on this hunt and maybe try and find some sort of track of this creature before the sun goes down. I do not plan to hunt werewolf again through this night.
He says, "Alright, I will let you do what you will as long as you agree." He nods to the man who's stormed in here, this monster hunter. And he says, "In that case, let us go. Let us see who finds the wolf." He just like walks out. You follow him outside, like a bunch of the villagers like move up to the doors and the windows and things like that. And you guys kind of move off into the square. And as he gets there, he turns around and he says, "Where is Mr. Cross, my red-haired friend?"
I'm sorry, who are you talking about? Deception, so... what do I got? I got a 15.
15. He says, "A man with flaming hair such as yours leaves an impression on those he passes."
Listen, now, flaming hair, that you're being racist right now. You're absolutely being racist. Not every single man with flaming hair is the same person that you may or may not be looking for. Look, I'm just a werewolf hunter, alright? I work solo. I don't do any jobs, and I don't do them for pro bono, alright? Now, if you're gonna come in here and mess everything up and try to get underneath my skin here, it's not gonna work, alright? Now, we can work together or we can work against each other. I don't really care. Now, as long as you are willing to work with me, I'm willing to work with you, and I'm not looking to work to anything else. So whether or not you want to help me or help anyone, or even, I don't know what you're doing here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you. That's enough. Really.
Roll perception. Or, sorry,
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 19.
19.
24.
24. So he like eyes you up, and takes a gauge of you and says, "Well, if you are indeed a werewolf hunter, then we shall test steel, yes?"
What, you want a sword fight in the middle of the street? What am I, a fucking child? No, I'm not sword fighting you in the middle of the street.
I'm not
I've got...
a fighter, I'm a priest.
I don't care what you are. I'm not fighting you in the middle of the street. The last thing is these people need to think is that the two people who are supposed to be saving each other are going to be fighting each other. I'm not interested in showing my merit to you. I have nothing to prove to you. You're just some bum in brown robes thinking you're better than everyone because you can bust through a door. Well, guess what? I can too. And I walk over to the doors and I burst one open.
Alright, so you see the villagers are all looking at you and they shy away and crumble into the structure, and he bursts the door forward and he says behind you, I will find him. I will find him. And I will take back what I want from him. And you see the priest just storm off angrily.
Well, you're not impressing anyone, friend. You just look like a fool who's storming away. Right, pull up your skirt then, maybe, act professional.
He pulls
act
up
professional.
his robes and he jumps on his little pony and he just kind of eyes you up, and he doesn't ride out of town in outrage. You see him start trotting into the fields.
Right, you're bonkers, man. You're bonkers. Go back to your hovel, you crazy bastard. Unbelievable. Unprofessionalism. If there's anything I despise, and I'm saying this to the group, as the unprofessional man, this is the type of man who comes in, makes a big fuss, starts throwing accusations. I wanted to figure things out. I just wanted to know if he was perhaps a werewolf. Now he pointed accusations. He got you all riled up. Look how riled up that young boy is there. I'm just pointing to some kid. He is
The boy on the donkey is actually apprehensively looking back towards the town, between his master and the town, and the master and the town as they move away.
No.
It just seems like they're riding off towards the woods, towards the northeast.
And I go, well, I think I need to perhaps find this creature, or maybe follow that man. And well, as much as I'd like to, I'm going to start this investigation as soon as possible. If anything, keep your people together, keep the children and the women close to you. And again, I will be back tonight to discuss further what I have found in this area. I work very quickly and I'm highly professional, but I will return to you very soon. And with that, I turn on my heel and basically full out sprint towards where he's running. But
You hear the
also, in mind, I want to go back to camp.
Yeah. Alright, so you start heading back towards where you last saw the carriage. You know they'll be camped probably within half-hour walk. Yeah. So you storm out of town looking for a thing. Yeah. So you got your initial information. The town seems pretty worked up about this whole thing. There have been disappearances and murders. There's been livestock missing. You have no idea the means in which they were killed or how. You're also not 100% sure of how much money was actually in that bowl. But yeah, at least you know that Galen's in town.
Yeah.
You have heard the name before. You recognized him by his description, as Cross loves to go on about his nemesis. And you move up towards the campground. So as you get back, you see everyone has returned except for Braun, who is unaware of it. And we have to call it there.
No. Good
Because my friend Taylor is having a baby tonight, because his girlfriend's water just broke, which is awesome!
You better not be watching the stream right now.
Go have your baby.
He totally was before he called me.
That's
It
right,
was
yeah.
hilarious.
Go have your baby.
Yeah, so I
It's
took a
our
break
first
from watching
stream,
live
baby.
cast in my... What? No. No, I don't know if he was. But I'm pretty sure he's busy with pregnancy stuff.
Probably.